Well, here we go. It's official. The first certification program owner has adopted the GFSI Hygienic Design benchmarking requirements, document J2, into its new standards, and will start auditing against this standard around the first half of 2023. Now, what does this mean for food processing companies? What does it mean for the food equipment suppliers and for EHEDG itself? We are joined by Dr. Holah, who is one of the members of the EHEDG Hygienic Design Benchmarking Support Group. Dr. Holah, John, thanks for joining. Where exactly are we now in this development?
J1 and J2 are currently voluntary, and BRC are the first CPO to begin to adopt J2 in their food manufacturing standards. Where they are with that at the moment is they are looking towards their 9th version of their food standard. They've issued a draft. That draft will be put to bed by the end of August, early September, and then come February next year, then food manufacturers who use BRC as their GFSI approved scheme will start to be asked questions about hygienic design.
Now that BRC is introducing this, do you expect other CPOs to do likewise?
I think they will all fall in line eventually. I don't see how you can argue against improving food safety. So I think once one CPO has adopted it and reaps the benefit, if you like, in terms of making the food industry adopt better practices, then I think all CPOs have got to seriously look at it. I think there'll also be a recognition from users, the food manufacturers, that, well, this is a good standard. It really is challenging us. It's making us better. It's making our food safer. Therefore, it's a standard that whilst difficult to meet initially, it's something that I want because it's challenging to me. And I think once you get to that stage, then again, other CPOs have got to work on the basis of that and adopt at least J2.
Well, let's start with the end user, the food processing company that has to purchase the equipment from the food equipment supplier. How is the purchaser affected by this new auditing standard?
In terms of the purchaser, J2 starts asking questions about how did you as a food manufacturer choose that building or choose that piece of equipment? To do that, the food manufacturer has to set up a team, and that comprises all stakeholders that use that piece of equipment. The production, who have to get so many units from it, engineering, who have to install and service it, hygiene, who have to clean it, purchasing, who have to buy it. All of those people will be involved in creating a specification for the equipment manufacturer or the builder.
So this kind of presses the food processors to be really conscious about their hygienic design requirements. So this could help the suppliers to probably come up with better suitable solutions, right?
The equipment manufacturer, they've got a much better understanding of what the equipment is to be used for and what the hazards might be associated with that use of that equipment or building, so they can build a piece of equipment or commission a building that more closely mitigates the hazards that their customers have. So they're using hygienic design principles and they're selling hygienic design principles to meet the hazard reduction that the customer has already suggested within that purchase specification. So all parties benefit. The equipment manufacturers or the building constructors understand better what they're doing and can apply their hygienic design principles to it. The food manufacturer better understands what the equipment is trying to do and the hazards associated with it, and gets a better piece of equipment or better building, which then ultimately means that their food is going to be manufactured in a safer facility.
Let's talk about the application of this, John. How do you think EHEDG is going to integrate these new standards into their EHEDG guideline and certification and training offerings? And what does this mean for the whole market space?
I think going back to what you first mentioned there, Rob, was the application of this. And I think historically has focused maybe on higher end equipment, particularly liquid handling equipment, whereas this is aimed at the food chain, from how to design a plow or a combine harvester, to the design of food manufacturing equipment, to food service equipment, to retail display equipment.
But what will this really do? Will it maybe create a level playing field for food equipment providers, or will it diversify the market depending on the application? What do you think?
What it really does is ask the question, what is the intended use? What are the hazards associated with that? And creating a piece of equipment or a building that is fit for purpose to manage those hazards. So it makes the sort of farm to fork approach such that you have a very different equipment or building at the lower end of the chain, at the farm, a plow or a combine harvester, to at the higher ends of the chain. But they are both hygienically designed. They both manage the hazards associated with the use of those pieces of equipment or buildings, so they're both fit for purpose. That changes the way that the EHEDG has to think, because it now puts the onus on risk assessment, or hazard analysis and risk assessment.
So much to do, so little time, because BRC is planning to start auditing on this early 2023 already. So how has it been going? Are you up to date?
It's been a challenge for on this, and we have a working committee that is trying to put together a series of helpful guidance on how to undertake the process, how to define the purpose of the equipment or the building, what's its intended use, and to assess what hazards might be appropriate there, and then to mitigate what you need to do to mitigate the risk of those hazards through hygienic design.
Well, I heard that EHEDG is planning to develop, your group probably is planning to develop a new EHEDG Hygienic Design Risk Assessment Guideline. But before that comes out, because that takes some time within EHEDG, everything needs to be peer reviewed and so on, you are working on a white paper. So when is that white paper expected to be published? It should be this year, right?
Yeah, we have two principles. One is it must be, as you say, this year to be useful. And the other principle is we have to adopt it to HACCP principles. So the way that we look at this must be the same way that the food industry look at all of their hazards and try to manage them. We can't invent a new food safety system. We have to adopt what we have at the moment, and we have to play with that a little, so that we're not assessing the risk of the product to the consumer, which is typical HACCP. We're assessing the hazards and risks associated of what a piece of equipment or what a building could impart into the food during that manufacturing process.
Well, thank you so much, John, for everything you do for EHEDG, for food safety around the globe. And also thank you for attending and speaking at the EHEDG World Congress 2022 in October, 12th, 13th October. So yes, we will be there and listen to you and see what your further perspective is on this development. Thanks very much for this interview.
No, as you say, Rob, this is fundamental. It's the biggest change that I've known in my lifetime with hygienic design. There's lots of learning still. We're doing our best, and what I will be doing is presenting the state of the art that we will have at the time. So I warmly invite anybody to attend this Congress and learn a little more about where we are and what needs to be done to ensure that J2 particularly is incorporated in the way that food manufacturers, retailers, etc. operate. Thank you.